Hi, fourth graders. Mrs. Pina, thank you for coming to class today. We're going to review our unit on energy, and we're going to start our mini lesson on renewable resources. Today's objectives are going to be to make sure that you know how to differentiate different forms of energy and to teach you guys about the different types of renewable resources. Let's get started. What is energy? We define energy as the ability to work. Some examples of energy we've talked about are the energy we use to get up in the morning, to play on the playground, and to do our homework. Let's get into our lesson for today. We're going to talk about non-renewable and renewable resources. Let's get started with renewable resources. Finally, today we're going to talk about renewable energy, which is my favorite part because this is something that comes organically from the earth, and these are resources that are abundant in supply, which means that we have lots of it just right in our backyard probably. These are also things that you're probably more familiar with. So the first one we're going to talk about is geothermal energy, and that's energy that we get from the heat that comes from the earth. Many people use this in their jobs. Then we're going to talk about biomass, which is energy that we get from plants and trees. There's also hydropower, which is a renewable resource, and that's energy that we get from the force of moving water. Isn't that amazing that we can pull water into a dam or a reserve, and the motion that it creates, and it allows us to have energy. This energy we can use to power things. We can use for electricity. Another amazing form of renewable energy is wind power. That's exactly what it sounds like. It's energy that we get from the wind. So if you've ever been traveling with your parents, maybe like on a road trip near the coastline, or maybe you just went somewhere and you saw these big giant white fans on the plains, maybe like on little hills or somewhere out in the desert in California and Arizona. They're everywhere. They're in Texas. There are these big giant wind fans, and they use the blades to gather wind, and we use them for energy. Finally, the most commonly used and abundant form of renewable energy is solar energy. Solar energy comes from the sun, and everybody knows the sun comes out every day. It's something that's everywhere, and we can use the energy from the sun to power things, to turn things on, for our cars, for so many things. Later in this unit, we're going to create a science experiment, and we're going to use solar energy to power our own invention. So let's just keep thinking about ways that we can protect our earth and how we can use renewable energy, which is solar, geothermal, wind power, biomass, and hydropower, to do our part in keeping our earth clean. And I hope you've learned something today about renewable and non-renewable resources. Let's review. Please answer the following questions. Is wind power a renewable or non-renewable resource? You should have answered a renewable resource. Wind power is energy that we get naturally from the wind. Where does solar energy come from? Do you guys remember? Here's a hint. That's right, solar energy comes from the sun. My final question is, when should we use renewable energy? You know the answer. It's every day. Let's do our best to use the Earth's natural renewable resources. Thanks for coming to my lesson, and have a great day.